Hello students, in the last class we have seen the explanation regarding with the haloalkanes and haloarenes, and along with that how we can classify the haloalkanes and haloarenes based on the different number of halogen atoms and number of hydrogen atoms replaced. Along with that we have seen the classifications like allylic halides, benzylic halides, and similarly the compounds containing sp2 hybridized carbon atom, and that is vinylic as well as arylic halides. And further part here in this case is the nomenclature of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So in the nomenclature, the most important thing is we know two types of nomenclature. One is called as a common name, and another system is called as UPAC system, or you can call it as IUPAC system. So one is called as common name, second one is called as IUPAC system. So first the nomenclature of haloalkanes we'll see. So here in case of haloalkanes, so we already know haloalkanes means the carbon atom is sp3 hybridized and which is bonded with the halogen atom. So in case of common naming, suppose if you see here, in case of common naming, so here the naming of the haloalkanes can be done by using a rule, that is alkyl group, right? So first we will name the alkyl group followed by halide group. So this is the rule. In case of common system or common naming of haloalkanes, there is a rule, that is alkyl group is named first followed by the halide group is named. So, but in case of UPAC system or IUPAC system, what happens? These alkyl halides are named as halosubstituted. These are termed as halosubstituted hydrocarbons. Right? So, these are termed as halosubstituted hydrocarbons. And one important thing in case of IUPAC is, while naming these compounds, haloalkanes, whatever the position of the carbon atoms are present, those position of the carbon atoms, right? So the positions, if there is a presence of more than one carbon atom, we have to number it. So these positions of carbon atom are given in numericals. Right, so the position of carbon atom is given in numericals or in terms of numbers. Suppose if you take an example of, we'll see some examples here, CH3, CH2, CH2, this is Br. Observe carefully, this is CH3, CH2, CH2 and Br. So here there are three carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, and it is bonded with the Br. So in common system, if you name this compound by using this rule, first we have to say the alkyl group and followed by the halogen atom. If there is a 3 carbon atom in a single chain, we will call it as a propyl. This is generally called as propyl, and it is bonded with a bromine, hence it is called as a bromide. We can call it as propyl bromide. In common system, it is very easy to name, that is a propyl group, because it consists of 3 carbon atom in a straight chain, and further there is a bonding of bromine. Hence it is termed as propyl bromide. But in IUPAC or in UPAC system, what happens? Here the important thing is we must count the number of carbon atoms, that is by taking or by numbering. It's the first carbon atom which is nearest to the functional group. This is second, this is third. Right? So here the bromine is attached to the first carbon atom, right? The bromine is attached to the first carbon atom. Hence the name is given as 1-bromopropane. Observe here. In case of IUPAC, the halosubstituted hydrocarbon is named. First we will write the halide group, the name of the halide group. further followed by the alkyl group. But it is reverse in common system or in common naming. Observe here. In case of haloalkanes, in common name, first we will write the alkyl group followed by the halogen group. But in IUPAC it is reversed. First we will write the halogen atom further followed by the alkyl group. These both are reverse. Propyl bromide in common system, the same compound, and it is named as 1-bromopropane in the IUPAC system. Similarly, if I take an example of CH3, CH3, this is Cl. Observe here, again there are 3 carbon atoms here, and the chlorine is attached to the center carbon atom, which is in the middle. So therefore, it is also propyl group. But in common system, first we'll write the alkyl group followed by the halogen atom. So therefore, in common naming, what happens? This can be termed as iso, right? Propyl chloride. This is termed as isopropyl chloride. But the same nomenclature if you do in case of IUPAC. So in IUPAC, first you have to number the carbon atom, right? So since it is in between, this chlorine atom is in between, we can number from this side also, this side also. If you take from this side, this is first carbon atom, second carbon atom, this is third carbon atom. So therefore the chlorine is attached to the second carbon atom, we can call it as 2, right? And the halogen atom, chloropropane. This is very important, right? Observe, in common system, first we will write the name of the alkyl group followed by the halogen atom. But in IUPAC, first we will write the halogen atom followed by the alkyl group. That is a rule. Similarly, in case of haloarenes also, right? So this is the classification of haloalkanes, and in case of haloarenes, right? So that is sp3 hybridized carbon atom. Here what happens? If I take the example, that is a benzene ring which is bonded with the one halogen atom, that is bromine. Here in common system or in common naming, it is termed as bromobenzene. It is termed as bromobenzene. In IUPAC also we will call it as bromobenzene. But for the same example, here if I write one more bromine, if there is attachment of one more bromine here, right? So then it is called as, then this is called as, right? So this is at the ortho position here to this bromine act as an ortho position. So therefore it is ortho bromo, there are 2, right? So then it is called as ortho dibromobenzene. Then it is called as, if there are 2 bromines, you have seen in the classification, if there are 2 halogen atoms, we will call it as di. So therefore in common system, what happens? It becomes ortho position. There are 2 bromines, so therefore it is called as dibromobenzene in common system. If it is only one bromine, we will call it as bromobenzene. If there are 2 bromine, we will call it as we will say the position of one bromine ring, bromine halogen, and we will call it as 2 because there are 2, that is 2 which is termed as di ortho dibromobenzene. This is in the common system. But in case of IUPAC, for this compound, so here if you write the numbering, or if you give the, or if you specify the number for this, so you can take this one as 1 and this one as 2, or you can take this one as 1 and this one as 2. So therefore for the first position also there is bromine, for the second position also there is bromine, so therefore you can call it as 1,2, right? So for the first position is also bromine, second position also bromine, 1,2, same dibromobenzene. So this type of classification can be done, this type of nomenclature can be done in case of haloarenes. Similarly, we'll see one more example. If in case this is a benzene ring, there is an attachment of bromine here, and here is also there is an attachment of bromine. So if I ask you to write the IUPAC name as well as common name of this compound. So here if you observe, if you consider any one of the bromine ring, either this bromine ring, bromine halogen or this bromine halogen, if you consider this bromine, this is the para position for this. If you consider this bromine, this is the para position for this. So therefore, this can be written as para, in the short form it is taken as P, dibromobenzene. Again the name is same, just the substitution position is changed. Here it is immediate next to the first bromine ring, it is far away. This position is called as para position, right? So therefore it is called as dibromobenzene. And here if you number, if I start from numbering from this side, 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth position. And in IUPAC, right, so the first position and the fourth position are bromine. So therefore this can be termed as 1,4 dibromobenzene. This can be termed as 1,4 dibromobenzene. So like this classification is done, right? So one important basic in this is you must know the position of the benzene ring. Positions which are present in the benzene ring. So suppose these are the substitution position. If you observe here. So suppose if there is an attachment of any compound A, this is regarded as the parent. This is regarded as the parent. And to the parent substituent, the next to the parent substituent, this is called as ortho position. You already know this, but you must remember this. And next to that is called as meta position. And next to that is called as para position. You must know the position, right? So this is called as ortho position, this position. This position is called as meta position. This position is called as para position. Similarly, here also it is meta. And here it is ortho. Which means in the benzene ring, there are 6 positions. 2 will be ortho, 2 will be meta, and 2 will be para. You must know the position of the substituent to which the halogen is attached. Based on that, you can write the common name and IUPAC. In common system, we will say the position in terms of ortho, para and meta. But in IUPAC, we will use the numericals. We will use the numericals, that is 1, 2, 2, 3, like this. So therefore, in the nomenclature of haloalkanes and haloarenes, you might get 1 mark question. They will give one compound and they may ask you to write the IUPAC name of this compound. It may be haloalkanes and haloarenes. These are certain rules which you can use during the nomenclature of the haloalkanes and haloarenes. And another important thing here you must understand is the nature of CX bond. What is the nature of this CX bond? CX bond means that is carbon and halogen bond. So in case of haloalkanes, what happens? Carbon is bonded with the halogen and further it is bonded with the 3, it may be alkyl group. So here what happens? The halogen is more electronegative, means which has ability to extract the electrons from carbon. So therefore this halogen is partially negative charge and this carbon is partially positive charge. Because this carbon will donate the electrons to this negatively charged atom. So therefore here the bond between the carbon and halogen can be broken. Further we'll see in some of the examples. So therefore there will be an partial negative charge on the halogen atom because it has an ability to extract the electron from carbon. And this carbon has a positive charge because it has an ability to donate the electrons to the halogen atoms. So the carbon halogen bond length, if you observe this length, whatever this length, bond length means the distance between atom A to atom B. So this bond length. So this bond length increases, right? So there is one important statement. So I'll write here. The carbon halogen, which means CX, the carbon halogen bond length right? So this bond length increases from a carbon bonded to fluorine to carbon bonded to iodine, right? So there are 4 halogen atoms. One is fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Right? So here if you observe why this bond length increases, what is the reason? Because the size of atom goes on increases, right? So if you take fluorine, fluorine atom is very small, right? So chlorine is somewhat bigger than the fluorine. Bromine is bigger than both chlorine and fluorine, and iodine is the biggest in case of halogen. Observe here. So this is fluorine atom which is very small. Next to that is chlorine. Next to that is bromine. Next to that is iodine. If carbon is bonded with fluorine, the bond length will be less because this is a smaller atom. If the carbon is bonded to the iodine, the bond length will be more, right? So distance between the nucleus of the 2 atoms, right? So therefore, here as the size of atom increases, the bond length increases. So this is one of the important statement given in case of haloalkanes, right? So the nature of CX bond is nothing but the carbon and halogen both are bonded, in which halogen is negatively charged, that is partial negative charge, and this carbon is containing the partial positive charge. There is one important statement, that is the bond length increases from fluorine to iodine, which means the size of fluorine is very less, so therefore the bond length is very less or very short. But it goes on increases as we go from, or as we change from the halogen, right? As we change the halogen from fluorine to bromine, chlorine, iodine, like this. So this consists of nomenclature in case of haloalkanes and haloarenes, and some important information regarding with the nature of the CX bond. Further, the next important part in this is methods of preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So there are various important methods for the preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So we'll list one by one. So that first method is we can prepare the haloalkanes from alcohols, right? So by using alcohols, we can prepare the haloalkanes, and we can write so many examples related to this. So if you take a alcoholic compound, if it is ROH means this alkyl group is bonded with the OH. OH means the alcoholic group, and this is completely termed as a alcohol. If this ROH is reacted with acids like HCl, right? So what happens in case of a catalyst, that is zinc chloride? So here there is an removal of this hydroxyl group and there is an attachment of this Cl group. So therefore the product obtained can be written as RCl. Right, so the alkyl group bonded with the halogen means this is nothing but the haloalkane, and along with the liberation of side product as a water molecule. This is one important preparation of haloalkane from alcohol. If you take alcohol and if you react with acids like HCl, that is halogenated acid. Generally we call it as halogenated acid. Here there is an attachment of Cl in the position of OH in presence of zinc chloride as a catalyst. It will convert into RCl and along with the liberation of water molecule. This is one example. Similarly, if you write the same ROH alcohol, and if it is treated with SOCl2, that is thionyl chloride, sulfur is treated as thionyl, right? So thionyl chloride, again you will get the same product, that is RCl plus SO2 plus HCl. This is also same example. Here also we have used alcohol, and this OH group is replaced by this Cl and is converted into alkylate. These two are alkylate. So therefore, these are the two important examples for the preparation of the haloalkanes from alcohols. By using alcohols, we have prepared the haloalkanes. That is the first one. Second method is from hydrocarbons. See, this is very important. From hydrocarbons. So with the help of hydrocarbons also, we can prepare the haloalkanes, and that method is termed as free radical halogenation. That is termed as free radical halogenation. Suppose if we take an example of CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, right? So the main heading is from hydrocarbons, right? By using hydrocarbon, this is the hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon is nothing but it is a chain of carbon and hydrogen. Right? So here it is CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. If I heat this molecule with the chlorine, if I heat this with chlorine, right? So this is heated with chlorine molecule, that is Cl2 molecule. Then what happens? Among this carbon atom, there will be a removal of one hydrogen atom from any carbon atom. There are 4 carbon atoms. Here the terminal or the end carbon atom are bonded with the hydrogen atoms, 3 hydrogen atoms, and middle 2 carbon atoms are bonded with the 2 hydrogen atoms. The most important thing here you have to remove is this chlorine can remove the hydrogen from any of the carbon atom. So therefore it can take the position of the hydrogen atom. Suppose this chlorine attacks on this molecule, that is on the hydrocarbon. This chlorine is nothing but this chlorine bonded with chlorine. It can break, right? It can break and convert into 2 chlorine atoms. So therefore here it can become one product CH3, CH2, CH2. If this one chlorine replaces one hydrogen from the terminal carbon, then this CH3 will convert into CH2. Wherever it has removed hydrogen, it will bond to that position. So therefore it will convert into CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2 and Cl. In case if this chlorine replaces the hydrogen from the second carbon atom from right side, second carbon atom from the right side, it can also form one more product, that is CH3, CH2, CH, Cl and CH3. Observe here, the explanation is only in the position of replaced hydrogen from the carbon atom. Here initially it was CH3. We have removed one carbon atom from the terminal, one hydrogen atom from the terminal carbon, it has converted into CH2 and there is an attachment of Cl. Similarly, if I remove from this carbon atom hydrogen, it has converted here. It has converted into CH2 to CH. CH2, initially it was CH2. It has converted into CH. There is an attachment of chlorine. Hence, by this method also we can prepare the haloalkanes, and that is called as from hydrocarbons, and that method is termed as free radical halogenation. That is termed as free radical halogenation. And there is one more method for the preparation of haloarenes, which is called as by electrophilic substitution. By electrophilic substitution. So here in this case what happens? In case of electrophilic substitution, the arenes which are bonded with the halogen atom, the main important thing is here we can use the catalyst like iron. So Fe, that is iron, can be used as a catalyst during these kind of reactions. I will give the example. It is very simple and very interesting also. If you observe the benzene ring, initially it is bonded with CH3, which means the alkyl group bonded with the aromatic ring. Suppose if I take a molecules like X2, X2 means it may be Cl2, Br2, F2, any kind of I2, any kind of halogen atom which may be taken in the form of X2. This X2 has a capacity to bond here, which can take the position of ortho or which can take the position of para. Because these are two. X2 means it is X bonded with X. If it breaks, so therefore this X is a halogen. This X can bond to the ortho position. Already we have seen what is the ortho position, meta position and para position. This X can be bonded to the ortho position, or this halogen can be bonded to the para position, but there is no chance for the meta. This route is not favorable. Observe this route, whatever I have written with the green colored arrow mark. So this route is not favorable. This cannot be done. Which means the halogen can only bond with the ortho position, or halogen can only bond with the para position. Halogen cannot be bonded to the meta position. That is because of steric hindrance. Remember, halogen can be bonded to the ortho position. This is possible. Halogen can be bonded to the para position. This is possible. But halogen cannot be bonded to the meta position. So therefore, whenever you add the X2 molecules to this compound, you will observe in presence of Fe as a catalyst, the product we can obtain is benzene ring which is bonded with CH3. There is an addition of one halogen atom to the ortho position, and there is a chance of one more product here. This is CH3, and there is a formation of one more halogen atom to the para position. So therefore, if you name this product is termed as ortho halo. This complete compound is called as toluene, and this is called as para halo toluene. You can observe the same example. If I take the same example, if it is benzene ring which is bonded with CH3 here, if I add Br2 for this molecule, same example. So here what happens, in presence of iron as a catalyst, the product can be obtained in the form of, here if you observe the benzene ring which is bonded with the, here it is CH3, and here there is a chance of addition of one bromine to the ortho position, and you will get one more product in which one bromine will bond to the para position. This is CH3, and this is the addition of bromine. So therefore they may be termed as, so this is called as ortho bromo toluene, and this is called as para bromo toluene. Right, so here the main important thing is you must understand, if you take a benzene ring, if there is any substituent like CH3, if you add any halogen atom, suppose if X is the halogen atom, this X can be added to the ortho position. This is possible. X can even be added to the para position. This is possible. But X cannot be added to the meta position. You must understand this. This is the overall explanation in case of electrophilic substitution. Halogen can be added to the ortho position. This is possible. Halogen can be added to the para position. This is also possible. But halogen cannot be bonded to the meta position. That is due to steric hindrance. Right? So these are the three important preparation. One is from alcohols, direct preparation, conversion of alcohols into alkyl halides by adding halogenated acids in presence of suitable catalyst. And we can also prepare the haloalkanes from hydrocarbons, which is generally termed as free radical halogenation. If you take a hydrocarbon, you can replace the hydrogen from any of the carbon atom and we can fix the halogen atom. Here we have taken it as Cl2, we got two products. And in case of haloarenes, if you want to prepare haloarenes by electrophilic substitution, observe here. So this is the aromatic ring which is followed by the aliphatic carbon chain. Here the aromatic ring is bonded with the aliphatic carbon atom. If you add X2, any kind of halogen atom, it can bond to the ortho position, it can bond to the para position, but it cannot bond to the meta position. That is the rule. So therefore, whenever the X2 attacks on this compound, it will convert into ortho-halotoluene. This is one product. Another one is para-halotoluene. Similarly, we have taken the example of bromine. It is called as ortho-bromotoluene and it is called as para-bromotoluene. This is the rule. Right? So these are the some important nomenclature of haloalkanes and some important methods for the preparation of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So there is an extended part for the preparation of haloalkanes as well as haloarenes. So we'll continue that in the next class. Thanks for joining.